Jellyfish that never die. Have you ever heard of an immortal jellyfish? Probably not. And that's because they are so tiny, like smaller than the head of a pin small. Their scientific name is Turritopsis dohrnii, and they can revert back to their original state after reaching sexual maturity. Yep, we said it. They literally start off as an egg, grow up into a jellyfish, then go back to being an egg again. It's like a never-ending cycle. They achieve immortality by reverting back to their previous stage of development, turning back time on their own biological clocks. But how do they do this exactly? Well, when they sense that their environment is becoming too harsh or they're getting too old, these amazing creatures start to shrink. First, their bell starts to collapse inward, and then they develop into a blob-like creature. Then they attach themselves to the ocean floor and wait for things to get better. Once conditions become favorable again, they start to grow into a new jellyfish. So basically, they just keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. These little guys have been studied a lot, and scientists think that they might be able to use the jellyfish's tricks to help humans live longer. The immortal frog. Now let's talk about an incredible discovery that was made in 2022. Researchers stumbled upon something mind-blowing in the remote jungle markets of northern Laos. They found a frog that can actually freeze itself solid and wake up again, all thanks to a unique protein in its body. This incredible ability allows the frog to survive in cold temperatures without suffering any ill effects. It's like having your own personal de-icer. The reason behind this fascinating adaptation is pretty straightforward. The jungle markets where these frogs live can get super chilly at night, especially during the winter months. Temperatures can plummet to around freezing point, which is a big problem for poor little frogs who don't have the ability to regulate their body temperature. But these frogs have managed to find a way around this issue by slowing their metabolism down to extremely low levels, entering a state called cryogenic torpor. Basically, they freeze themselves into a sort of suspended animation until the sun comes up and things warm up a bit. During this time, their bodies produce special proteins that protect their cells from getting damaged by ice crystals. These proteins act like little bodyguards, making sure that everything stays safe and sound while the frog is in its icy slumber. It's like having your own personal security system, except with science. Unfortunately, these frogs aren't immortal. If they're frozen for too long, eventually they die. But thanks to their amazing adaptations, they've managed to thrive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. A fish that can breathe in air. Did you know there's a fish that can hang out on land? No, it's not a fish with exceptional climbing skills. It's actually a fish that can breathe air. Meet the mudskipper, a funky-looking amphibious fish that can spend a good amount of time out of water. This fish is like the jack of all trades of the aquatic world, able to survive both in water and on land thanks to its unique gills and lungs. These two organs work together to help the mudskipper breathe no matter where it is. When the fish is in water, its gills extract oxygen from the surrounding environment, allowing it to stay underwater for extended periods. However, when the tides go out and it finds itself on land, the mudskipper relies on its lungs to get its oxygen fix. These lungs are located near its throat, and they allow the fish to breathe air just like us humans. But hold on, there's more. Mudskippers also have special sacs under their eyes that can absorb oxygen from the air, helping them to stay alive on land. These amphibious abilities allow mudskippers to venture far away from their watery homes and explore new environments. Some species of mudskippers can even climb trees, helping them escape predators or find new hunting grounds. So if you thought breathing air and hanging out on land was a unique ability, think again. Blue whales, not so blue. Now let's take a look at the blue whale, the largest creature that has ever lived on planet Earth. These massive mammals can reach lengths of over 30 meters and weigh more than 190 tons. That's like having a fully grown giraffe on your tail. But despite their massive size, blue whales are surprisingly graceful and agile in the water. They're like the ballerinas of the sea. But did you know that these majestic creatures might not actually be blue at all? Scientists used to think that blue whales were born blue, but recent discoveries have revealed a surprising twist. You see, the color of a blue whale's skin depends on the angle of light and how much oil is in their skin. Newborn blue whales have a grayish color, but they slowly start to turn blue as they grow older. However, the bluish hue fades away once the whale reaches sexual maturity. Why do they change color like that? Well, scientists believe that this is a form of camouflage. Blue whales tend to feed in colder waters where sunlight doesn't penetrate very deep. This means that the bluish tint on their skin helps them blend in with the dark depths and avoid being spotted by predators. Now you might be wondering why they lose their bluish tint once they mature. Well, scientists think that this is because adult blue whales don't have many natural enemies. They're just too big to be hunted, so they don't really need camouflage anymore. As a result, they start to look more like their grayish selves once again. Emperor penguins can't swim. You might be thinking, what kind of penguin can't swim? Like swimming is kind of their thing, right? Well, hold on, because it turns out that emperor penguins, the largest of all penguin species, can't swim in the open ocean. Nope, these flightless birds are only capable of swimming in the water when they're on land. Emperor penguins waddle awkwardly on land, but once they're in the water, they're like little torpedoes. They use their wings to paddle through the water, propelling themselves forward with ease. They also have special feathers that overlap each other, creating a tight seal that keeps them warm in the freezing temperatures. But here's the kicker. Emperor penguins can't swim in the open ocean. They need the protection of the land to feel safe. Why is that? Well, you see, emperor penguins have evolved to feed on krill and fish that live close to the shore. They don't have the adaptations needed to catch prey in the open ocean, and they're not built for long-distance swimming. Instead, they prefer to stay close to land, where the water is calmer and the food is more plentiful. This means that emperor penguins have to choose between conserving energy and finding food. If they venture too far into the open ocean, they'll waste a lot of energy swimming against the current, so instead, they stick to the coast where they can save their energy for hunting. Spiders that rain from the sky. Picture this. You're relaxing outside, enjoying the beautiful weather, when suddenly you look up and see spiders raining from the sky. Sounds like something out of a nightmare, right? Well, it's actually a real phenomenon known as a spider fall. Yes, thousands of spiders can fall from the sky, covering an area in a creepy yet impressive display. But why do they do this? Well, it's all about survival. You see, spiders can sense danger through vibrations in their webs. When they feel a strong vibration coming from a bird or another predator, they abandon ship and run for cover. As they flee, they release silk threads that allow them to float on the wind, carrying them away from danger. These threads also allow the spiders to travel long distances, sometimes up to 60 miles. But here's the weird part. The spiders don't control where they go. The wind currents decide their fate. This means that they could end up anywhere. Suddenly, a mass migration of spiders descending onto an unsuspecting town. Imagine that. It's not exactly a scene that you would want to witness. But hey, it's nature doing its thing. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more amazing content. And that's a wrap on this week's episode. But don't worry, we'll be back soon with more amazing videos that will blow your mind. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit that like button if you want to see more of these incredible creatures in action. Until next time, keep being awesome and don't stop exploring the world around you. Who knows what other amazing discoveries you might make?